Hello and welcome back to Delta Online Television, your one-stop channel for every reliable infotainment. Today we are with the Chairman Isoko South Local Government Area, Honorable Chief Constantine Itiako. He is also the Algon Chairman, that's the Association of Local Government Chairman, Delta State. And coincidentally, it also doubles to be his birthday. So happy birthday, sir.
Thank you very much.
How do you feel about your new age?
I feel blessed. Any opportunity I have on my birthday, I use it to thank God for His mercies, for His kindness towards me. I'm blessed.
Oh yeah? Okay, so I like that part. You are blessed. And we are privileged to sharing your blessing. And I also assume that the people of Isoko South are privileged to sharing this blessing.
I'm most privileged to have them as my constituents. And I've been seeing their prayers and seeing their well wishes. I'm humbled when your leaders call you, the ordinary people call you, pray for you. I think beyond anything that's key, that's most important in anybody's life, it shows that they are happy, it shows that they are content, and I want to thank them for all their wishes.
Okay, now those are the true words of a true leader, you know. For someone to tell you he is blessed to have his people and not the other way around, the people being blessed to have him, that should be coming from a true leader. So, sir, a couple of things happening in the political scene in Nigeria. So, just like you initiated when I initially entered here, I would like to start off with a new autonomy of local government. I think it has to do with just the financial aspect or every other thing that concerns the local government.
Let me say that what the information that has come out today might excite a lot of people. When you talk about financial autonomy, I think the major danger of what people have feared most in the past is the fact that a lot of governors have been pilfering funds of local government. I say that because unfortunately, or fortunately, in Delta, we have moved past that stage. We have moved past that stage in the sense that we have never had a governor who had pilfered the funds of local government. So while many states may be excited, many local governments in other states may be excited about the new development, we have gone past that stage. Where we are now is a more dangerous situation where, for instance, when you talk about autonomy, when I was Deputy National President of ALGO, I was the immediate past Deputy National President. We insisted on full, final autonomy, administrative autonomy, financial autonomy, political autonomy, and so on and so forth. So in the area of financial autonomy, we have never had a problem in Delta. Our governors, as it were, we've had Senator Dr. Okowa is the third. We have not had a history of governors, and you can verify, pilfering our funds. Now, where we are today is that the state actually augments for us. In the last 2 months, we've not been able to pay salary. We've gotten between, the month before last, we got 280. Last month, we got 320 from the state government for us to be able to pay salaries.
Interesting.
Now, where we are today in Delta is we are asking the federal government, we are asking our president that with all intent and purpose, it is important he does what no other president has been able to do. And what the Constitution rightly states, that every president should review the revenue sharing formula of the Federal Republic. What Abuja has, what the federal government has, is just too much. The federal government has 52+% of the revenue of the Federal Republic. And we are saying that it is too much. That is why everybody is gravitating towards the center. And that is why everybody is running to Abuja, leaving the local governments to bleed and suffer. And let me tell you, if you look at when Nigeria worked last, it was when the local governments worked. So until we go back to that state, every hospital is in the local government. Definitely. Every road is in the local government.
Yes.
Every market is in the local government. Every social amenity, as it were, use for the development of our people is in the local government.
government.
So you need to empower the local government. So that's why, while others are cheering, in Delta State, it's a partnership between the state and the local government. And let me tell you, I will say it the way it is. This governor, the governors before him, have not pilfered and not tampering with our funds. So we have gone beyond that where they are. Anytime I tell my colleagues in any meeting that even up to 10% IGR, many states do not know that many local governments do not know that when we go to JAC, the state has a responsibility to remit 10% of the IGR. We do ours here. Many big states you hear about where there's a lot of activity, they don't do it. And for me, it's a shame. And I think that this is a time to strengthen the local government administration. And I think our problem in Delta is that we are saying the federal government must take it as an urgent need to review and redistribute the revenue sharing formula.
Okay, I totally understand what you're trying to say. So while the central has about 52%, the state and the local government is left to scramble for 48%. Now this is something to have to review. We must have to look into it. And it's quite interesting that you give credit to the governors of Delta State, the list of governors as regards to not pilfering with the funds. And I must say that it's something that is quite encouraging and interesting, that in as much as some other states are super excited.
Many other states are excited because they're not in our shoes. Yes. Out of the 36 states, I can tell you except they come out and start speaking, I know of only 4 states where the governors are not pilfering with the funds of their local governments. Only 4.
And it's also interesting to find out that the Delta State government also augments what the Constitution states that you get. So. Yes. It's quite encouraging. It's quite encouraging. Okay, so while we leave that phase, we might have to talk about you a little, the other birthday present, or the other center of it all today. So, if you don't mind, would you give us a sneak peek of what your political history has been like, your political life, your political career?
Well, I've just started, so I don't know. Is there a history? By the grace of God today, I'm a business person. I think that's very important, because when I hear people, politics is not, in Pidgin we say politics not be work.
Okay.
First, it's important you have an address, because the danger of not having an address before you come into politics is that the tendency to think that your life, your problems can be solved in that office. And that leads you into a lot of temptation. So I've been in business from University of Port Harcourt, where I graduated from, and came into business. I'm a transporter majorly.
Interesting.
That's what I used to do before I became a public servant. I'm a public servant.
Sure.
And contested elections a couple of times. Eventually in 2014. I became chairman of Isoko South. Alongside that, I was elected chairman of Algo. And in 2018, in January, I was elected again. Being the first person in Isoko South to be elected chairman twice.
You must have done well in your first tenure.
Well, I think, yes, the people believe we did well. And unfortunately, too, in very difficult circumstances, because if you recall, you will notice that was the time when the country was in recession.
True.
But we're able to give our best in the first, and we're doing so also in the second term. Politics is about synergy. You need to be humble to serve people, but one part of it people miss is to be able to tell people the truth, even as difficult as it is.
As it seems.
I've been fortunate and blessed with a lot of good leaders. Not all can be perfect, but they've helped me to become the man I am today. Above all of that, I think that a leader's character is key. When you have a leader who is firm and doesn't compromise on principles, that is where I have learned a lot from His Excellency the Governor, and Senator Dr. Ifeanyi Akor. And I think think he's thought of a few things which has helped us too. And so I may not say much about my political history, but at least you know I've been here, I've been there, but basically I'm a businessman and I'm a public servant today. And I give all the glory to God.
Super interesting, the fact you talked about your business and having an address before going into
politics. Oh, that's key. That's key. There's so much desperation when people who were hitherto not doing anything get into public office. The tendency to steal, the tendency to, get involved
embezzle funds and all that.
Tendency is there.
Totally agree.
So it's important that there's no desperation. You have somewhere to fall back
You're
to.
Coming to serve and not.
And all your problems are not pitched in
on your office.
In your office, yeah.
Definitely. Okay, good to hear. Then I also figured out something else when you were talking. You kept referring to we.
Yeah.
Okay, when I asked about your office and how well you have done, he said we have done well. So who are the we?
People that work with me, my vice chairman, my secretary to government, the councillors, leader of the house, leaders in the local government, traditional. Look, you can't do it alone. You must delegate responsibilities. And what you do at the level where I'm in, is to ensure there's a proper follow-up and guidance, and allow people to operate and do well. So one thing is key: put people in office that have capacity, and that way it's easy to guide them, it's easy to monitor them, it's easy to help them to articulate whatever policies government intends to put in place. So it's a we. It's we, not me, not I. It's we. The minute you begin to I, it means that you run a system that doesn't exist. It means that you run a system that doesn't work for the people. So you need to be careful when you talk about I've never been an I person, and so I believe very strongly that teamwork helps the success of any administration.
Okay, I actually had to intentionally drag you to that extreme, and I like the fact that you give credit to your subordinates, to whoever credit is due. So what has it been like being the chairman of Isoko South local government?
Interesting, I'll say. Isokos are naturally peace-loving people. That's a fact. Yeah, and let me tell you, not because, it's not a slogan. If you look at the story of the Niger Delta, that is the truth. You find that, for instance, in Delta State, it's only Isoko that are not agitators.
Interesting.
I'll give you, when you talk about onshore oil, Isoko has about 70% onshore.
For real?
Yeah, from Uzere to Igbide to Iri to Oli to Olomoro to Enwe.
70%.
70 onshore.
Okay.
And so ask yourself, how come you never heard that we shut down, we agitated, we...
Bankry,
It's because our issue, our people are peace-loving people. So that has helped me to be able to manage the local government. Our parents back in the days, teachers, pastors, so that tells you the nature of our people.
Civilized,
so for
if I may say.
Yes, so for every family, you'll find a pastor, reverend, and a teacher.
Interesting.
So you will know that such families are modest, responsible, and easygoing people.
Isn't that is it called a fallacy of a generalization?
The beauty of it is that you're a journalist. I don't think it's a big deal if you take a drive to Isoko and find out for yourself. That is the truth.
All right.
But what that has done for me, it has made it easy for us to manage whatever challenges we have had. Governance is a responsibility that helps the people become better. And when we came in, local governments were no longer local government system had virtually died, because when there were funds, the administrations all around forgot the basic needs
Of the people.
or principle of working for the people. So the foundation of local governments were almost shattered. Now, I'll give you two instances. Environmental sanitation, healthcare. Now, because of the inability of successive governments to manage healthcare, you find that today, the states and the federal government are almost taking over the responsibility. Until recently, because those are constitutional issues, the governor brought us together and said we should form a partnership, what we call the primary healthcare under one roof. And we have been able to synergize with the state and put it in place. We are one of the few states in the country that are playing that synergy.
Interesting.
You go to DESA, you find the same thing. DESA is Delta, the signage and advertising agency. We'll put that together to be able to help to ensure that revenue accruing to the local government and the state were not thrown away or lost. And so we have been able to build out the structures as they were before. I'll give you another example. The wage bill of workers in the local government amounted to about 1.75 billion. Wage bill of teachers amounted to about 1.9 billion. And we sat down with His Excellency. I said, Your Excellency, this is a critical part of what we need to do. And he asked for ideas. And we said, let us start with the biometric process. Today, we are practically the only state, except others have joined now, that are doing biometrics and clock in and clock out in the local government.
Whoa.
So when we came in, while people were not going to work, one, because it's possible they were owed in some cases, but there was so much
lackadaisical
attitude towards work. Today, the wage bill has not only dropped, you find workers going to work
on their toes.
And the fact that, let me also remind you, when we were owing workers, because there's this feeling that it is state government that pays their salaries. That's not true. It's just like saying it is federal government that pays state workers' salaries. That's also not true.
Okay.
We were owing close to about 5 billion.
Okay.
The governor magnanimously, after an appeal from Algon, gave us that money to pay our backlog. So as I speak to you today, we are not owing any worker in the local government. A lot of local government is not a story for one day. But I want to come from the negative and say that we have come to a place where we need to begin to revive our structures again. And we have a governor who has the presence of mind, who has the capacity, who has the political will to help us to achieve that. And so while our tenure is running out in 2021, we are making haste to ensure that these processes are properly put in place so that those who are coming after us will walk into a system that is smooth, that is interesting, and that will help us to achieve the desired goals for the benefits of the people in the grassroots. So working in local government has been an experience, good one for me. And when you work in a local government, there's no way you cannot operate. I can tell you that. You can be anything in this country once your people say that you have done well.
Okay. That's super exciting, super good to hear from you. And just like you said, making haste to put the system in order. And we do hope that the people, you leave it in their hands, do not make a total because of what you have worked so hard to put in place.
We try to ensure we are also part of the process and put in good hands.
Okay, so what are the major challenges you might have encountered in the process?
The usual challenges, people not being able to adapt to change. That can have its own. But basically not so much. Two areas I like to talk about. I think it's a general problem in the country. Waste management. It is only in this country you think that it is the responsibility of government to take away your waste. It is not.
Whoa. Tell me about it.
It is not. You pay for your waste to be taken away. It is only here you find people, because it's free, you generate any amount of waste you want. It's just like lights. Because you don't pay for lights, you can walk out of this house and leave all your lights on.
Yes.
But when they give you bill, you start blaming bill. The fact of the matter is that waste management is really not the business of government. It's private sector driven, and there's need for us to begin to properly look into those areas and ensure that whatever waste you generate, you pay for it.
You pay for it. So do we start to weigh waste?
Yeah, no, not way particularly. No, there are different ways of managing it. If you live in a house where it's a 4-bedroom flat, there's a cost to it. I pay right now as I'm talking to you here.
Okay.
Yes, I pay. I pay 7,000 or
A
so.
month?
Yeah, a month. Yeah, or 6,000 or so. Thereabout. I need to check my receipts. I pay. Somebody who takes the waste on the street.
Okay.
Right now.
I do know where I live too. We pay for
Some pay
waste
1,000. Some pay
Yes.
500. So if it's a 1-bedroom, so you can sit down. The private sector participants, we call them PSP operators, they sit down and look at it, and they're able to say, okay, this estate will take XYZ naira. So you prepare your mind. So whatever waste you generate, what is important is that you pay for the waste that you generate, because they are taking them to different areas in the state. So we can't afford to continue and act like it's no man's business. Same as water. People pay for water, and that's why you have boreholes everywhere. Yet you may say that the one government has is not working, but the one you have is also destroying the system we operate from. So one area I think we need to focus on is sanitation. That is very, very key.
I think it's very, very important. When the rain gets to fall and the entire streets and everywhere is so messed up, people coming out from places to even dump refuse in waterways.
Our culture needs to change. Our people need to understand that you are your own best health educator.
Exactly. I think it deals more with resensitizing, rebuilding the mindset of the people.
You think they don't know?
Maybe they do know, they just feel like it hasn't really been hammered to a point that it becomes a compulsory thing.
Very soon there's a campaign on wash, water, sanitation. I'm sure that in the next few months you'll hear from us all around the state.
That will be super interesting.
We'll just appeal to people, you see, because it's a general problem. When the marshals or the task force, when they arrest anybody, you see somebody call, oh, it's my brother, it's my sister, it's my mother, it's my auntie. It creates a problem for society.
True.
So we need to insist that we cannot afford to continue in this light.
There is no brother in the jungle. Okay. So to round off everything, thank you so very much for your time. It's been an exciting time with you, and trust me, I have personally learned a whole lot. So what would you say to the Isoko South people?
Isoko Wado. Oh yes. I want to thank all of you for where we have come thus far. I ask for your prayers. Together, we have done a lot. Together, we can continue to make Isoko the pride of Delta. We are very resilient people, and I'm confident that we are going places. I want to thank all of you and tell you that I love you, and God be with all of you.
Okay, to Deltans too.
As Argon chairman, I also deal with a lot of people outside my place. We have elected Senator Kowa for another 4 years. He needs our prayers. I'm sure that in the heart of hearts, we know that he surprised a lot of people with the kind of work and momentum with which he finished the first term. And in starting the second term, let's pray for wisdom, that God should give him the spirit of discernment and guide him with good health, mind and body. Let's support him. We can criticize constructively, but also while criticizing, propose solutions. He's one man that listens more than he speaks.
Wow.
Oh yes. So you have a governor who listens more than he speaks. And I know that as we enter into a new era of possibilities, I know that it shall be well with all of you. In Jesus' name.
Amen. All right, thank you so very much. Thank you once again for keeping it logged onto Delta Online Television. We will be back again with other exciting editions of our interviews, of our Fox Pops. You just do not have to change the dial. Keep it locked here, and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.